something you really want or someone you really want to be, then the only person standing in your way is you.
Me?
Get him, lads!
No. What I mean is, each of you is standing in your own way.
I've always wanted to play the flute.
I'd like to open up a spa in France.
I grow daffodils. And they're beautiful.
A new era finally begins. Now, all of you, bow before your king.
You need to work on your aim.
This was supposed to be my happily ever after.
Well, I guess you need to keep looking. Because I'm not giving up mine. It's yours if you want it, you know. But this time it's your choice.
Excuse me, that's my seat.
Okay, Senor Hokusy Pokusy, the time has come to rectify some wrongs.
Although I have been enjoying these cat baths.
Please say you didn't.
All right, all right. Look, you're going to feel a little pinch and possibly some lower intestinal discomfort, but this should do the trick.
Are you, I'm me again! And I am not you! All right!
Oops. Never mind.
What'd I tell you? I think the kid's gonna be a great king.
Well, for what it's worth, you would have to.
I have something much more important in mind.
Finally.
Was I wrong about the world? It's so beautiful and clear. A freak like me. It's such a pretty face. Even every day the rising sun. Looking up, it's looking bright. This streak is done.
can't say, I'm sitting there and looking at them.
What's going on with this?
Heard a song on the way here. When I'm 64.
Who does that?
Well, it was the Beatles, yes, but it was a quartet, which I've been listening to. I learned the bass and the tenor line already, and it's just a terrific tune. And then Hello, Mary Lou. Oh, that's another one, which is just the
Got the
harmonies.
lyrics down and-
Oh, the lyrics. I'm so in love. Ooh, do my Mary Lou. Yes, exactly. Okay. So hello, Mary Lou. Goodbye, heart. Goodbye, heart. Yeah.
We're it all together now.
There we
All
go.
right, who sings that one?
Now calling to order a regular meeting of the City Council, Tuesday, August 26th at 7 p.m. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Secretary.
Councilwoman Rogancy,
Here.
Councilwoman McGee,
Here.
Councilman Dwyer,
Here.
Councilman Boyke,
Here.
Councilman Noonan,
Here.
Councilman Lafferty,
Here.
Councilwoman Moore is present. We have a quorum.
Next item.
Next item is for adoption of the consent agenda. So moved.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion, anyone? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is adoption of the agenda. So moved with discussion.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion, Ms. Moore.
Yes, as item 12F, adding the proposed resolution for the admin fees for tax reverted lot sales. And as item 12G, discussion regarding senior housing commissioner Curtis Ostosh. Item number 13D, we are removing this evening for some further information that's coming, a further decision in the future, so we will remove that. And I believe that is all I have.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is calendar of pending matters. Motion to receive and file.
Support. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 7A, approval of the bills of the general revenue fund. So moved.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 7B, approval of the bills of the water and sewer systems. So moved.
Support Dwyer.
Discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is audience for participation for agenda items only.
Members of the audience who would like to address City Council this evening may do so by filling out a form on the left side of the stage. Folks have 3 minutes. This is for agenda items only. First up is Gary Watts and then Lori Harris.
Good evening, everybody. I just wanted to say that I see the library for the South End is on the agenda tonight, and hopefully it'll get a thumbs up and move forward. This has been about 5 years. Many of us, you on the council and myself, were involved in that in the very beginning. And this has been slipped under the carpet by the previous administration numerous times. And now for the last 2 years, this administration and Library Commission has pushed it under the carpet. So here we are. Hopefully this thing will get signed, and a shovel in the ground in the next couple of weeks would be awfully nice. Secondly, I see that the, whatever you want to call it, coffee cart, lunch station, whatever, is back on the agenda again. And I got to tell you, I think that is another silly idea. I don't think there's enough business there. It didn't get bid out. And, you know, we have restaurants in that area that count on business from General Motors, City Hall, other businesses around there. And I think it would be wrong to put something in there and take business away from them. So hopefully you guys give that one a thumbs down. So thank you. Have a good meeting.
Thank you. Next is Lori Harris.
Hi, Lori Harris. For any of you sitting up there, it's a privilege to represent our residents. I surely expect that if a resident asks you to remove something from the consent agenda so that it can be discussed before a vote, I think you should show respect for the residents' concern by asking for it to be removed from the agenda. Even if you have no concerns about the item, your resident that you represent does. I mean, if you say, why, I'm going to vote yes anyway, you've communicated that it only matters what you think. So this is a reminder that we're watching you in this lead up to another election, and we still expect you to represent us. Regarding the appointment of Bill Rudd to the Library Commission, I wish that had not been voted on, and that could have waited. We're having some issues with the Library Commission, the outgoing library director. Number 3, a $100,000 coffee cart in the atrium. Whose brilliant idea was this? Certainly the mayor, since it started on her budget and was cut. Now it comes back as an amendment to the budget for the DDA. And the DDA, who's inappropriately spent money, who recommended that the city give the football stadium to De La Salle after spending $10 million of our tax dollars. The DDA, whose 2024 final expense report is still not up on the website, and we're in the fiscal 2026 year. We do not need a coffee cart there to benefit. It's a lovely group of people. We can't give away $100,000 for that. Temporary inspectors get paid $25 an hour. That's 4,000 hours of inspection. That equals 500 8-hour days. But a coffee cart? Don't let kindness and a good idea get in the way of paying attention to this. If you can question the fire chief about $26,000, please pay attention to the true cost of this $100,000 coffee cart. And I would love to know who's really behind this. I read the backup information. I'd like to know who else was investigated and offered this opportunity. But I also noticed that there's no contract, there's no terms, and if you vote to approve this, you're agreeing to something that you have nothing to look at, except just a good idea. So don't vote yes for this, be smart. And that's exactly what the backup says. The library, don't you dare let the mayor or the library director stop this project. The saddest part of this is that the rumors of closing another library have already started. So just remember during the budget talks that Mr. Fox said that we have enough money to continue funding 5 libraries until 2030, and then we will need a new millage. Perhaps, just perhaps, a brand new director will bring life and excitement back to our libraries and curtail some of the senseless spending of our current outgoing library director. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Vanderlinden, do you want to speak for the agenda? Can you tell us also what item you're speaking on?
The DDA's coffee
Okay.
mess.
3 minutes, you got it.
Thank you. First of all, who in this council has received any information about who's going to be pouring the coffee? How much is the employee going to be paid to sit there for 8 hours a day and pour coffee, make sandwiches or whatever? Seems to me this has already been turned down, and why is it up again? Usually when you turn it down, it's turned down for a full year. This is 2 months. Now, I don't know what's going on, but I have a lot of questions on the DDA, how it's being run, and who's sitting in those seats that never show up. Seems to me this is taxation without representation of the people. Seems to me that maybe the DDA itself should be voted on by the citizens of Warren as who holds those positions. And my thought of that also goes with the planning department. I think the guy running the planning department's doing a hell of a good job, but look what he has to work with on the planning department. That commission's a joke, and they're sending everything to everyone else in other commissions. What are they doing? Maybe it's time to have citizens to run for those positions and be voted in. Isn't that a marvelous idea? So then the citizens have a say-so. No more gas stations, no more car washes, no more pharmacies, no more chili places, maybe something new. I mean, we made a long list of all the places that have closed, and then made a list of all the places that the mayor has brought here, both of them. We can see that the planning commission is not doing their job. Have a blessed day. Thank you.
Thank you. That is the end of audience for agenda items. Next item, Madam Secretary.
Next item, announcements. Madam Chair.
Secretary Moore.
Thank you. A couple of weeks ago, at the request of the police department, I sort of asked them what sort of information I want to give sort of a public service announcement at our meetings to give residents a head up on things that they should be doing or not doing. And I indicated at that time that the police said, lock your car. Keep your car locked. So now, this last Friday, the hot sheet, 3400 block of Topher, unknown suspect stole a handgun out of victim's unlocked vehicle. 11,000 block of Republic, unknown suspect stole a handgun out of victim's unlocked vehicle. 13,000 Sedoni, oh, that's indecent exposures, that's something else. 25,000 block of MASH, unknown suspects stole 2 children's bicycles out of the yard. I know it's terrible that you can't have anything in your yard, but if you put things in your basement, in your garage, then you're gonna more than likely hold on to your property. 11,000 block of 10 Mile. Unknown suspect broke into victim's unlocked vehicle and stole his handgun. And 26,000 block of Regency Club, unknown suspect broke into victim's unlocked vehicle and stole his handgun. And then another indecent exposure. So really, lock your doors, especially if you have a handgun. I would certainly think that people would not want their handguns on the street to just anybody out there. So please, lock your vehicles, don't leave money in plain sight, even if it's 35 cents, because somebody might break your window to get 35 cents. So please be vigilant. I know it's terrible that you have to lock everything and put everything away, but you know, there are people out there that are looking to prey on you and, you know, all of us. So just be mindful of that. Thank you.
Any other announcements?
Madam Chair.
Councilman Dwyer.
Yeah, just to follow up from a couple of weeks ago, we had Family Safety Day back on August 16th, and it was a real good success. We had a good crowd, we had great weather. Among some of the things we had going on was a drone demonstration. We also had blood pressure and glucose screening. There was hands-on CPR demonstrations. There was also crime prevention advice and safety tips that were offered. The fire trucks were there. They did interactive things with the kids with some of the hose apparatus, which was very cool. We had K-9 there for a meet and greet. And like I say, everything worked out really well. And I wanted to thank the Crime Commission for putting that on, and also CERT. CERT also goes above and beyond for us, the city, on everything they do. So we greatly appreciate them as well. Thank you. That's all.
Any other announcements?
Madam President.
Mr. Lafferty.
Thank you. On this past Sunday, I attended an event with Ms. Moore and Ms. McGee. We attended the City of Warren Police Department backpack giveaway held at Fitzgerald High School. And what a tremendous event. It was probably more well attended than there were supplies available, but over approximately 400 backpacks were given out, with another 200 bags full of supplies to members of our community. And so I know that this was under the direction and the leadership of Officer Moon, who put countless hours into organizing and ensuring that all hands were on deck for this event, coordinating the event with Fitzgerald School leadership. The support was there. It was very obvious. We had Fitzgerald School Board members, Commissioner Hawkins, the members of the Crime Commission, members of City Council. I know Mindy and I were busy stuffing bags, and the challenge there was the tables were lined up right in front of the pool. So you had to coordinate and not bump into each other, otherwise you were going to take a dip in the deep end. So I had mentioned that during the stuffing that I had learned to swim in that pool, and Judy Fergal said, so did I. So some good times were had. They also gave out haircuts, the ladder truck, and there were police vehicle tours. The K-9 unit was there to greet everybody. It was just a really professional, positive experience for everyone in the community. So well done to everybody involved. Well done. Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Ms. Moore.
Mr. Boyke, were you going to speak about the Polish Day Parade? Or do you want me?
Go ahead.
Okay. So Saturday was the Polish Day Parade. Several council people were actually in the parade. It was fun. We started at Cuzno and drove along the parade route down Common Road and then in front of City Hall. It was a very, very nice event. Once again, CERT was out there. We've been to a lot of events in the last couple of weeks. There have been a lot, and CERT is always there, taking care of traffic and anything that comes up, they are there. And you know, oftentimes it's after being on duty in the middle of the night, going and helping the police cover a scene or something like that. But the Polish Day Parade group did a great job. Is Mr. Muzza? I didn't see Mr. Muzzarelli. He's on the committee. Great job, everybody. I think this was probably the most participation in the parade I've seen for a long time. It was really nice. None of the cars broke down. You know, and quite a lot of people along the parade route, so.
Judge Chimera.
Yes, Judge Chimera. This is his project. He leads it. He does an absolute fantastic job. This year's Grand Marshal was Prosecutor Pete Lucido. So we had a couple of vintage fire trucks in the parade that were fun, and it was Stevenson High School band there, Jonathan?
Yes.
Yeah, so that was it was just a really, really nice day. I think we all had fun, and it was a little bit cooler this year. Last year was pretty tough, and my arm, my elbow, my shoulder's a little sore still from waving out of the car. But I'll heal. Thank you.
Any other announcements?
Oh, one other thing, sorry. It was Rip and Argo that were at the backpack event, the K-9s.
Oh, the K-9s.
They're not just K-9s, they have names.
Yes.
Rip and Argo.
Rip and Argo.
Argo's new.
Yeah. That was terrific. And you're right, CERT had a busy weekend.
Oh my gosh.
From the backpack giveaway to the parade to being there at the birthday bash. Oh, Madam Chair, the birthday bash.
That was really good.
3 fun-filled days, you know, between the fireworks, the drone show, the foam party, the live entertainment. There was just this was a really busy weekend. So hats off to the Director of Public Service, Mr. Mazzarelli. We have our Parks and Rec Director has retired, and he really took the lead. He's been working overtime. The Parks and Rec staff were there morning to night, working exhaustively to ensure a fun time for everyone. So again, well done.
Madam Chair, sorry, one more thing.
Yes.
Mr. Mazzarelli, there was a obvious lack of Polish food at the festival. I think we need to work on that next year. There wasn't a pierogi to be found. Oh, okay, well, maybe we need to get our order in early. Anyway, fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, no Polish food.
No pierogies?
No,
Ms.
nothing.
McGee?
Matko Bosko.
Ukrainian Council wanted to make sure that I announced that they had their 34-year anniversary that included a Ukrainian Independence Parade. They had it all over the state of Michigan and Detroit and Auburn Hills and a few other locations. If you don't know, Macomb County has the only Ukrainian council in the state of Michigan, and they wanted to make sure that we let everyone know.
Thank you. Any other announcements? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will move on. Next item.
Next item is 10A, which is a public hearing. Request to review and confirm special assessment roll number 543 relating to the demolition of a house and garage located at 21632 Connors through the nuisance abatement program.
Let's see. Is there anyone from, well, this is adding the special assessment. Do I need to do Mary, do I need to do a public hearing? Yeah. Okay. Anyone from the thank you. Our parliamentarian, Ms. Camp. Does anyone from the audience want to speak on this matter?
No.
It's a nuisance abatement, tax roll. Hearing and seeing none, I will close audience and turn it over to council for action.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Discussion. I have a item, in looking at the backup, obviously this house has been demolished, but it looks like an interested party is the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, and I was curious how they're an interested party. Does the person have state debt, Mary, or do you know? Sorry, Miss Michaels. You're both in the same direction. I don't know if you have the answer to that, but you don't. If you could just send it along when you have time, that would be great. I'm just curious.
Could have been a vulnerable person that lived there, saying that.
Okay, Mr. Lizzie?
I may be able to shed some light on that. On this property, there was a probate open only because a friend of the family wanted to get the ashes of the deceased owner to properly bury him. I believe that's the only reason he came to our hearing. And the only reason that was open is so he could take, he promised him that he would take care of the ashes. So that's what happened with that.
Okay, thank you.
I'm pretty sure that might be worse.
Appreciate it. Okay, seeing no more discussion, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 10, which was an administrative hearing that was tabled February 25th, 2025, regarding demolition of a house at 7215 Jackson through the nuisance abatement program. Motion to remove from the table.
Support Lafferty.
Motion to remove from the table. I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is yes. Item is off the table.
Motion to approve with discussion.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion. Ms. Moore?
Through the chair, Mr. Lezay, can you tell us where we're at with this, please?
All right, this home I've been working on for a few years now. I had previously had it in nuisance back in 23, And then the owners ended up donating this property to the city of Warren. There was a very unsafe garage which ended up getting torn down. And there was some discussion about a sale of this property, and I believe the petitioners may be here tonight. I recognize them, and they're still interested in buying this property. So,
What is your recommendation at this point?
well, I mean, if they're gonna save it, they're gonna save it. The two gentlemen are here, I know are licensed contractors. They came to my hearings, a few of my hearings, so I recognize them here at City Hall, interested in buying homes in our city to repair. And I know they have inquired about this property, and I think they are interested in purchasing this property.
So
from the
we've
city.
already had the administrative hearing, so could we make a motion to suspend the rules to speak with these gentlemen if everyone's interested in hearing what they have to say?
I would support that.
Okay.
So a motion to suspend the rules is on the floor. Mr.
Support.
Lafferty, support. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, rules are suspended. If you want to maybe bring up the folks, Mr. Lizay.
Good evening, my name is Dan Kress. I'm here with my son, Dane Kress. We own Structure Demolition and Construction. We were before you several months ago regarding the same property. We went through the application process, the bid process. I'm not sure of the department name, but the gentleman's name is Hunter. We did the online bid on the home. We met with him, and he was uncertain of the status, but he did telephone us this afternoon, and he wants us to come in and speak with him next Wednesday. He needs to talk to the city attorney, apparently to get some direction.
So apparently we need to table this once again.
It
Right.
appears so, yes.
Yeah, motion to table.
Support to table.
Thank you.
I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes to table.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes to table.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is yes. Item is tabled. Next item.
Next item is 10C, which was an administrative hearing, which was tabled August 12th, 2025, demolition of a house and shed located at 7584 Chalmers through the nuisance abatement program. Motion to remove from the table.
Support.
I will call the question to remove the item from the table. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is yes. Item is off the table.
Motion to approve with discussion.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion, Ms. Moore.
Thank you. Mr. Lizay, could you bring us up to date, please?
Sorry, regarding 7215, did we pick a date to table that to?
We did not. Second week in September?
September 9th.
Maybe we should do the
Which day,
third.
what's that day? Second
with the
second
holiday.
council meeting in
How
September?
about we do 3 weeks, since it's,
You want to do,
Then
what's,
two-
September 23rd?
yeah, let's do, that gives them more time.
9/23/25.
Yeah, does that work for you?
Table.
Because with a holiday and everything coming up.
All right, okay, so 2 weeks ago, we were here regarding this matter. Sal, the owner, did not appear. I did speak with him the very next day after we tabled this item, and told him that, he informed me, that he did not notify it. I told him, look, we're coming back here in 2 weeks. You should probably show up if you want to save the property. I do have, they did pull an electrical permit, like I said last time, which was issued on 8/8, basically the day before our last hearing, I think it was, the Friday before. But I'm not sure if he's here tonight, to be honest. I spoke with him the day after, the last time we were here, and told him the next hearing was tabled for 2 weeks.
Well,
So,
I would keep my motion to approve on, I'm sorry, Ms. McCamp?
We did contact the office, but he didn't give his name. We identified the business. So it took us a while to figure out what property he was talking about, but he said he was going to be out of town, and that would have been the same day that he spoke to Mr. Lizay.
He was going to be out of town today?
Yeah, for this week.
Well, I would keep my motion to approve this if he's not here. It's not our fault He obviously is not very interested in keeping the property. We can't keep these things going on forever and ever. What kind of shape is this house in? I forget.
It's in pretty poor condition. This house was pretty previously declared. I believe it went to the county. I think Sal bought it from the county in order to fix it. I haven't really had any action on the property,
All right.
to be honest, but that's where we're at with it.
All
I mean,
right.
we had that recent electrical permit issued,
Yeah.
and that's all the action I've had on it,
All right, I'll keep my motion.
so.
Thank you. Mr. Lafferty, you still support?
Yeah, we're done chasing this. We
Okay.
gave him the extension.
Any other discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 11A, consideration and adoption of a resolution approving the continuation of health insurance coverages with Blue Cross Blue Care Network and dental insurance coverage with Delta Dental and DenCap Dental. Motion to approve.
Support Dwyer.
Any discussion? I have a question. More about our coverage.
Human Resource Director Jared Gajos.
Thank
I'm
you.
also joined with TMR Associates President Mark Mueller and our Benefits Administrator Marilyn Warren.
Thank you. Why doesn't the city cover fertility or infertility treatments? Our insurance? The county, Macomb County does, so I'm just curious.
Well, this is something we can look into. In the insurance programs, it was not negotiated in the union contract, so it was something that was never there in there, but we definitely can take a look at it if that's something you would like us to do.
So it's not super widely known, but I've been going through fertility treatments for a couple of years, and it won't help us I utilize the city's insurance, wouldn't help me at this point, but, 1 in 6 people suffer from infertility, and we have 800 plus employees. And it's cost us close to $65,000 thus far. So I can't imagine what other people, it just is a huge financial burden for folks, and I would love to see what is possible so that I leave the city better than I found it.
So there's a couple of things that we have to take a look at in this, and, we don't cover autism benefits, which the council's asked us to take a look at it as well. And some of these different things, but we're in a fight to keep your insurance rates, and we've been able to keep the insurance rates for the employees under the hard cap, which means there's no cost share and no premium share. So it's a tough decision. It's a negotiated item for us to do with the unions at this point in time, because we don't want those employees to have to pay a premium share out of their pocket. And the more benefits we continue to add, that entire burden of adding those benefits is borne upon the employees, because once we reach that hard cap, 100% of all increases go towards those employees, and those employees have to pay that out of their pocket. So it sounds, to be very honest with you, it sounds all fantastic. We want to give everybody everything we possibly can.
Sure.
But at the same time, we have to look at all 800 active members and the active members, and how do we do what's best for everybody. And that's something that is normally negotiated between the unions and Human Resources, and I believe they're in negotiations now, or just got out of negotiations. Hope that helps.
Yes, it does.
Right.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Any other questions?
Madam
No.
Chair?
Mhm.
Through the chair to Mr. Gajos, and really, I spoke with Ms. Warren before about the autism coverage that's been brought to my attention a couple of times over the last couple of years, that it was not covered and that it was needed. And I can appreciate the delicate balance, but there are also, where's the delicate balance for the person that is struggling with, medical needs, and out of everything that's covered, probably one of the single greatest costs for autistic coverage is not. I find it very difficult to reconcile that, even a percentage match of benefits. If it's not 100% covered, could we do 60, 80%? Could that be, included in the negotiation? I'm not asking for, 100% everything. We have a very generous, the employees in the city enjoy a very generous program that goes without saying. And but I think there still are improvements to be made relative to the autistic coverage.
So I have a personal connection to that. My niece is high-functioning autistic, has high-functioning autism. She is covered under my sister's insurance, but she's not covered fully for autism. So I've had a number of employees reach out concerned about this in regards to her health insurance. So my sister, because her health insurance doesn't cover autism, she has a plethora of resources that she has sent me to offer to our employees in regards to this issue. If employees who are watching this or that you guys know of are dealing with a situation of a family member with autism, just connect them with me, at least for the time being, so I can provide them with these resources. They're countywide, statewide, local, nonprofit groups, whatever it may be. My sister explained, and when you're by yourself with this kind of thing, it's a lot, it's very challenging, but then when you get the resources and you can share them, it at least makes your day when you can see at least one more family benefiting from a percentage increase that's covered, so.
Mr. Gajos, that is probably one of the most outstanding answers that I could have asked for. That's the type of leadership that we need in the departments. You're thinking outside the box. You're going, through alternative methods while we have a lengthy negotiating process. This, union negotiations, contracts, collective bargaining sessions. Those are not, one day's work. So those are the types of resources we need. So thank you for your efforts there.
Thank you.
Any additional discussion?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I think all of us at one time or another come across something that's not covered. Mark and I have had conversations. I take some pretty specialized medications at times, and it's a fight often to get insurance coverage at all for any of my medications. Some of mine are very expensive. I'm paying out of pocket at least $1,000 a month now for one of my medications. It just happens. We can't cover everything for everybody as much as we would like to. And I think some of the things we're talking about negotiations, this is not the appropriate place to be discussing anything that would come in union contract negotiations. But I understand everybody has concerns and they want whatever they want covered, and I get that. It's just impossible to cover everything. But thank you very much. And I too appreciate your offering alternatives to people that are in need of certain coverages. Thank you.
Madam President.
Mr. Noonan.
Yeah, I'm reading here, as it says, as you can see in the supportive documentation, there is a projected increase in the BCBSM self-funded policy as well as an increase in the Blue Care network renewal. Delta Dental projected 2.68% increase with a 2-year guarantee, and the DenCap Dental has a rate increase of 7.02% for active employees and 11.65% for retirees with a rate guarantee of 2 years. Overall, this is keeping the costs low and looking to fiscal responsibility, but I was wondering if you had anything to say about those?
Well, we're in a tough time right now in the medical industry, and as you can see, Blue Cross and Blue Shield, the standard increase is 15 to 16% over the last year. We have managed those claims very, very well, and your people have the tools that we have given them, they have used those, right? And the active population we've maintained under the hard cap. And eventually, the river is going to meet the road. When the hard cap only goes up 2-3%, and our rates go up 10, 11%, or 7 or 8%, we're nearing that right now. And that's why you see some of the changes that are taking place and some of the things that we do not cover, because we have to worry about those 800 active employees as opposed to, you have to look at what's best for the masses in these different programs. And we continue to explore different options and things that we can do. The Medicare Advantage plans, the Medicare prescription drug programs for the retirees, things of that nature. And then the prescription drug changes, which are not pleasant for everybody, but we're making sure that there's treatment there for everybody. And as we go through these different years, we come with different items where it impacts your population the least amount as possible. But eventually, and we're getting there, sir, is that with the state of Michigan hard cap, especially exactly what Mr. Snyder, Governor Snyder wanted it to do, eventually they're going to have to cut the insurance rates or have an employee cost share. We've managed to do a good job with with the help of human resources, to keep those costs below the hard cap. But we're coming to an end, to be very honest with you.
Madam Chair.
Thank you for the update on that, and I yield.
Mr. Boyke.
I heard you mention active employee, and then you backed off and went to something else. Is there a difference between active and retirees in their coverage?
Yes, there is. The active employees are negotiated benefits. The employees that you currently have that are retirees now, they enjoy the benefits they had when they retired. So you have some retirees out there now today with $2 prescription drugs or $5 prescription drug plans that you're still honoring. You have people out there with $100 deductibles and things of that nature in their contracts when they retired that you're honoring. The active employees are the only contracts so far that have been changed and have been manipulated to keep those costs below the hard cap. Yes, sir.
So my question to you, are you changing any retirees, any coverage to them?
Not with this renewal, we're not, sir.
Thank you.
Not with this renewal, yes.
Any additional discussion?
Madam Chair.
Ms. Moore, or Ms. McGee.
To the director, we discussed on before, we had a meeting on different programs that when certain health care benefits that are not affordable, that we can seek out benefit programs that would assist at a lower cost for our employees. I don't know if you've done any research into that as of yet.
Yeah, I did. I reached out to a couple places and I got a list that I'm trying to piece together. I work for a nonprofit that focuses in on wellness, mental health, substance misuse, and we connect a lot with Oakland County Health Network. We connect with Fern Care, things of that nature that offer free health resources to individuals who may be Medicare primary, things of that nature, low income. So kind of drafting what that will look like for the employees to send out if our insurance isn't covering all the things that they're asking for.
Right.
Yes.
That would be a great help, because for someone who, autism, they may be able to go, if they can't afford what we have, or if we're not offering, they can go to this particular program and get it at a more reasonable rate. So I appreciate you looking into that.
Of course, thank you.
Any other discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. Thank you very much. Ms. Moore.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Dwyer.
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty.
Yes.
Mr. Boyke.
Yes.
Mr. Noonan.
Certainly.
Ms. McGee.
Yes.
Rogan C is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 11B, request of Table 53 Pizzeria LLC located at 32270 Van Dyke to upgrade their tavern license to a Class C liquor license through the state of Michigan. Consideration and adoption of a resolution. So moved.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 11C, recommendation of the RFP Committee to award ITBW 1478 for the construction of a new library to be located at Underwood Park to Quadrate Construction LLC in an amount not to exceed $2,556,737.70. This recommendation was voted on and approved by the Library Commission on July 17th, 2025. Consideration and adoption of a resolution. So moved with discussion.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion, Ms. Moore.
Madam Chair, is Ms. Barnwell here? She was going to assist us. If could ask her to come forward.
Good evening, Council.
Thank you, Ms. Barnwell. So to go back a little, we started out with an idea, and it sort of grew and got to this point now. The Library Commission has approved this, and we're ready to go forward. I think that, we found about what a great need there was in this area of town that had been sort of underserved and neglected for a while. And during the pandemic, one of the first things we realized was that children in that area didn't have access to internet. So that's one of the things we were really, looking to do, is provide a place where students could go get internet. We talked about having a library of things in that area, which is very exciting, I think. idea. We put in $2 million from ARPA funds, and the initial design came back at 2.5. We told the architects to go back to the drawing board, which they did, and they came in with a plan at 2 million, but we went out for bid. Of course, it came back like everything. You know, the longer we've waited now, everything has become much more expensive. And we've had meetings that there is money in the library general fund, correct?
Yes, that's right. And everything you said is exactly what has happened. So just going back to 2010, that's initially when this particular library millage passed. And basically what the purpose of the millage was construction of new library branches, updated library branches, and then updates at the existing ones. So since then, we have completely rebuilt 2 libraries and really have done not much else since 2019. So that millage money has been collecting over this whole time, and now the library fund balance is at $7 million. So yes, we have the ARPA funds, you know, that are going to go to this initial project, but we have more than enough funds to cover the Library of Things and all the material that's going to go into this library. And like I said, I know that there are some who have expressed concern with the financial picture, but myself as well as Mr. Fox, we have concerns in the future. If the millage is not renewed, then we might have to reimagine, you know, some of our library services. But until then, we have plenty of funds to build this and staff it and all the rest, because this money is just sitting there in an account, and it needs to go toward the residents. Like Councilwoman Moore, you were saying, you know, these residents, they have very little adequate park services, you know, the roads, and, you know, a lot of the families only have 1 car, if at all. Residents have been waiting this entire time. First, I think we all started talking about this in 2019, and we batted around several different ideas. Meanwhile, this fund balance continued to build without helping the residents that need it the most. And from a financial standpoint, like I said, the money is just sitting there in an account that we have, that I'm the signer of, and it's not helping any residents right now. But like I said, with the construction of this is going to offer library services, books and playtimes and internet and Library of Things and, you know, activities for the kids, places where young adults can go and hang out as well. So this is really going to help that area bring those needed services.
And I think also we talked about in many of the discussions we've had, this library, for instance, is very underutilized. And there may be an opportunity to reinvent the utility of this library here to more meet the need of this area, and perhaps some of the resources that wouldn't be needed for whatever that reimagined space is could be transferred then to the Underwood Park Library.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of, you know, great ideas that have been thrown out there by people at this table that I'm facing. You know, like we could reimagine that space to really focus on children, somewhere for them to go and play. Because I think I've been saying this for a long time, Warren, you know, not only is our park system need a lot of revamp, but there's not as many places in Warren to go and take your kids. As someone with like a 13-year-old and 2-year-old, we are very limited with where we can take our kids to play. And that's something I hear constantly from residents. And we can utilize, you know, still maybe have a little small library space in there, but really reimagine it to, again, give residents services that they need and they can go to with their families.
Earlier, Ms. Harris made a comment about the new library commissioner coming on board that we approved tonight, and I will indicate that I did speak with him, meet him for the first time Saturday. He came up and introduced himself and said that he was on the agenda to be approved, and I was very interested, and he assured me that he was in support of the library. I wanted to make sure that we weren't bringing someone on that was going to be against what we want to go forward, because we're excited about this, and we want everybody on the library commission, whether they voted yes or no on this, we expect them to be helpful and enthusiastic about what we're going to be doing, because this is really a great thing. Unfortunately, very unfortunately, many of the people in that area had no expectation that this would ever happen, because they have been disappointed so many times in their lives and been made promises, and they never came to fruition. So that's very hard to hear when, you know, we keep coming up against these roadblocks in the last year or so, and we keep trying and trying, and I think that has been really the impetus behind all of us working so hard to make this happen, because we just did not want to disappoint that area of town one more time and leave them in the dust one more time forgotten. So I am extremely excited about this. You know, there's probably not much we can do this year. It's pretty late in the season, but next year I certainly hope to see it going. So thank you so much. Lori, you have been a champion of this project from the very beginning and kind of brought us all on. The people in David area are very grateful for everything that's been done to bring this to this point, and appreciate your leadership and your activity on the Library Commission as one of your duties as treasurer. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Mr. Lafferty.
Thank you. One of the points I wanted to touch on, Ms. Moore, you brought up, and we talked earlier about the reinventing of Miller Library. And, you know, it brings to mind, you know, our park systems. If you go to 5 different parks in the city, you are going to have 5 different experiences. There is no rule that says every library must look and act the same and provide all the same services. The library is a system, and it works in cooperation with other communities and within itself. So, and many times in industry, you have disruptors. You have changes to your industry, and this is one of those disruptors. We are changing the way in which we library in the city. We are being given a proposal that says we have an underserved area, and it has been for many years, and it's a terrific proposal. And when we adopted the budget, we knew that we would not need workers immediately to fill these positions. So we took it out of the recommended budget from the mayor. We started with 24 funded positions, and the recommended budget was 33 positions. And we eliminated all of those additional positions because we said we're not going to need to fund those positions throughout the entire fiscal year. Now, what I find interesting is that the mayor recommended this to us. We received our recommended budgets in April. And at the 11th hour, an email this morning comes from the mayor saying that we will exhaust the library's reserve funds within 5 years. This is a questionable decision. We'll be spreading the library resources thin. We'll have to split between multiple branches. Will we have to close branches? There is absolutely zero creative thinking on behalf of the mayor's office and on behalf of anyone who helped put this email to council together this morning. And the only thing this does, threatening an increase in the millage rate, that's called fear-mongering. And I don't like it. I think it was wrong for her to send that email, If she didn't want to recommend another library, then answer me this one question, Madam Mayor. Why did you recommend the positions in the budget? I don't have that answer. I cannot put two and two together. But Ms. Barnwell stated it very well. According to our fiscal year-end budget, if, even with our decision tonight, the budget will be $8.4 million projected as a fund balance. We have the funds sufficient to do this, and I think with some creative thinking, just like we talked about Mr. Gajos earlier, thinking outside the box and treating this as a disruptor in the library industry within the city of Warren. We reinvent the Miller Library, we shift resources to where they're most needed. We save taxpayer dollars, and we invent a new way of librarying in the city of Warren. This is a great idea. Thank you.
Madam President?
Ms. McGee and then Mr. Noonan.
My only concern is with the library. Although I am all for having a library, I would like to see a plan on a list of items of what we're planning on doing with the library. I would hope that we do something different. Providing, there's been some things that I've learned over this last couple of years that the library been doing for our constituents as well as our residents in the community in that area, but can we offer something different? Whether it be job development and training at the library, bringing in speakers, doing something different that we can offer to them that with the way the economy is going right now, there's a need out here. I get calls on, can you bring a speaker in from Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security? Maybe our library can assist us with those type of things. I would like to see a plan on how these dollars will be used. I did not hear whether or not that the staffing was included in that 2 million, 3 million. No, so that's totally separate on what the mayor has submitted already for the number of people. Okay, that's all I needed. Thank you.
Mr. Noonan.
Yes, I'm in favor of this library, and one of the things that I think is most crucial at this time is to have better services for our kids throughout the city, especially as having been a school board trustee during COVID. We saw the socialization of kids go down the drain, basically. So many kids are really struggling, and so better programs in the libraries and in the parks for the kids is near and dear to my heart. Thank you.
Any other discussion? I also very much support the library and felt very confident when Controller Fox gave us the breakdown of how the fund balance would be spent and then subsequent breakdown of financials. So I am also very supportive and excited for this community. Hearing no more discussion, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes, for
Mr.
Vera.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Absolutely, yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Sure thing.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is a yes. Motion carries. Next item. Next item.
Next item is 12A, which was tabled on July 22nd, 2025. Proposed ordinance to amend Chapter 2 of the ordinance, use of the city seal and city logo. I'm not sure if this is ready to be pulled off yet.
Motion to remove from the table.
Okay, support.
Motion to remove from the table. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Rogan C is a yes.
Motion to approve.
Thank you.
With discussion.
Support.
Support Boyke. Discussion, Mr. Lafferty.
Thank you. After discussions with Mary Michaels, the acting city attorney, who should be the city attorney on record, we made some minor adjustments to the language, and the Items that I did want to bring forward as to note that we are adding the content of the advertisement shall not contain matters of a partisan political nature and shall not be intended to further the political interest of a particular elected official, and we added or candidate for public office. The other, one of the other changes is that all use of the city seal and logo shall comply with the branding and styling rules as established in the City of Warren Branding and Style Guide. I asked to have removed the permissions granted to the applicant by either the the public service director or the director of communications. It is to be followed strictly by the guidelines that are available in the branding and style guide. And then authorized use is to be by the mayor or their authorized designee for any display of the city seal or logo or reference to the city of Warren endorsing or supporting an event. Those are the material changes that have been incorporated into the yes, into the ordinance. So let's see here. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. So under 2.6, Section 4, all use of the city seal and logo shall comply with the branding and styling guide rules, branding and styling rules established in the City of Warren Branding and Style Guide. The remainder is struck. Section 2.7, subsection 2, Section A, any private party organizing or sponsoring a public event in partnership with the City of Warren may display the seal or logo or city logo without alteration according to the City of Warren Branding and Styling Guide and with the written authorization of the mayor or their authorized designee. And then any display or use of the city seal or logo or reference to the City of Warren as endorsing or supporting an event, program, or message must have the express written authorization from the mayor or their authorized designee. The decision of the mayor shall be final, shall be for a limited duration not to exceed beyond the event date, shall be revocable at will, and is non-assignable. Section 3, Section 2.4 of the Code of Ordinances entitled Advertisements at Public Expense shall be stricken in its entirety, is struck out. And I believe that is this a change here, demanding corrective action? Penalty? Okay. And then under 2-8, under penalty, Section B, demanding corrective action in a manner reasonably tailored to the circumstances of the violation, and Section C, requiring submission of proof of such remediation. Number 2, failure to comply shall result in the city attorney or authorized official. And subsection I, we add an and/or statement in that section. And that appears to be the remaining changes.
Any other discussion? Okay, hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Thank you. 12B, Council Secretary Mindy Moore, discussion and rate ADA accessibility requirements for websites, mobile apps, social media in 2026. So moved.
Support Lafferty.
Madam Chair.
Discussion, Ms. Moore.
Yeah. Last week, I attended the Michigan Municipal League webinar on ADA digital compliance that address the April 2026 deadline. That compliance is dealing with municipal websites, emails, social media for persons with disabilities. The session highlighted the scope of requirements and underscored the challenges that many municipalities face in becoming compliant. It was clear from the presentation that proactive planning and stakeholder involvement are critical to the success. So it wasn't really my place to be on this webinar, but I was interested in what they were saying because some of those things could affect us, any of us that have social media using our titles. Anything coming out of City Council office, we're going to have a new way of scanning documents. How we send them over now won't work. So there's all kinds of things. Blast emails have to be ADA compliant. An email between you and I, Ms. Rogan-C, wouldn't have to be compliant one-on-one, but anything, blast emails and things like that. So this led me to looking at our ordinance, establishing the Commission on Disabilities. And the ordinance charges the commission with advising, assisting, and advocating on matters affecting persons with disabilities. This includes identifying the barriers, recommending corrective measures, and promoting policies that ensure equal access to city services and programs. Given these responsibilities, the commission has both the authority and the obligation to support the city in meeting its ADA requirements. I don't think that's happening. There are a lot of things, if we're going to follow that guideline of what the commission is, the commissioners should be participating in seminars and conferences and the like regarding ADA compliance, reviewing current city websites, email platforms, social media channels for accessibility barriers, advising on best practices and tools for digital accessibility, providing input on policies and timelines for the compliance, monitoring progress to ensure deadlines are met. I don't think we're doing any of that. And if we're not going to utilize the commission that way, that ordinance needs to be rewritten because it really is putting much more responsibility for handling these things. And I don't think there's a person on the commission that is by education trained in ADA compliance. Certainly there are members that have family members that are disabled. There are members on there by requirement who have disabilities, and it's extremely important for all of us to understand what challenges and barriers anyone with a disability faces. And that's important to have people with disabilities on the commission, but I think if we're going to, we either need to change the whole scenario of the commission or put people on the commission that have these skills to be able to be doing these things. I think now we're hiring outside consultants for those type of things. I don't know where we are on this actual, the digital accessibility.
I don't think
Mr. Mazzarelli, you're involved in doing the digital, I would think communications would be involved, please.
Good evening, everyone. Our web designer actually just emailed me today the backup copy of that actual webinar that you're talking about with the PowerPoint presentation, the recorded webinar. She attended it last week with the same time you did. We're moving forward with making our internal, our external website ADA compliant as well as our internal website. We've switched over to DocuSign. So to ensure that all of our documents are now ADA compliant, we're moving forward with all of that. She is becoming, she's taking the steps forward to make sure that that's all being taken care of. I have a bit of a web design background, and I've been helping her as much as I can with some of that stuff. The advisory committee the internal advisory committee, we've been making sure that's a priority. As well as the rest of it, we started the a ton of different projects currently. You know, we're moving forward at as much possible as we can possibly can.
Right. I don't want to be super critical, but our website is, I'd give it a D. It's not very good. Whether it's compliant or not is just, I have a difficulty navigating and finding anything, and I find things that have no business being on there, and I don't have a disability recognized under the ADA. I certainly have a disability when it comes to technology sometimes, but
There's a lot of information to disseminate on that website, and it is very hard to navigate at sometimes. She did just post the draft of our transition plan on there, so that should be coming out. The public version of that should be coming out soon. And then hopefully at some point we will have a better structured website. You know, we've talked about that in the future. But right now we're just kind of trying to deal with cleaning up the current website and making it compliant to meet the deadline.
right, right. I heard some things that surprised me. I didn't realize that 25% of adults have some sort of disability recognized under the ADA, and 1 in 10 men are colorblind.
Very, I didn't get a chance to watch the webinar. I did see the link though.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was presented very well. It was an hour. It was very easy to watch, and it wasn't over my head. And so that's a good webinar when I can follow.
Yeah, she said it was very informative.
It was. And I have I'll be glad to share
I was just gonna say,
electronically with everybody if they want to.
I was just gonna say I'd forward the link to you guys if you want it.
Yeah, I'll do that for us, but, thank you. If there's anything you need from us, let us know. And I'm sure that there's things we're gonna have to change in the way we have already had problems with,
Absolutely, like I said.
the backup from our packets are so big, and there has been a problem viewing those.
And if you notice, we switched a lot more over to DocuSign that we've sent over to, and to make these changes a little easier with that DocuSign documents, that makes it ADA compliant, and that gives that backup material a little easier for you guys to disseminate and keep it ADA compliant.
Right. So at some point, and they're looking at April 2026 as the deadline, but, you know, like all ADA compliance regulations, they have been pushed out to the future often.
Right.
Because
we'd still like to meet the deadline, though.
Right, that would be great. So anything, but if you could keep us updated, we appreciate it. And
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Madam President?
But I would like to, just to circle back, Ms. Michaels, I think we need to look at the Commission on Disabilities, because they're really not doing they're doing some things, but they're really not meeting the requirements or fulfilling the purpose of that, and maybe we need to reimagine that or fold it in somewhere else. So maybe we can talk about that in the future. Thank you.
Ms. McGee.
When you were speaking on, Madam Secretary, of the commission, the Disability Commission, they are bringing in speakers to speak on this. They talk about different programs and technology on how we move forward. Matter of fact, on our last meeting, we did bring in someone who could talk more in detail about ADA compliance, helping us understand how it works. So you do have a couple of people there
Right.
who's trying to make sure that we understand it all. And so as we move forward to meet this deadline, maybe we can bring a representative in there that can really go through the information as they did on the call,
right,
on the training. So thank you for that.
Mr. Noonan and then Mr. Lafferty.
Sure. Actually, today, Madam Secretary, you and I were talking a little bit, and it seemed like maybe the administration could bolster the Commission on Disabilities with an administrative person who could get up to speed on what cities who are really highly compliant and best practices are. So I just thought I'd.
Yeah, Madam Chair, in response, and I think Ms. Murphy, who is trying her best to fulfill that role, but maybe the ordinance puts too much on the commission, and that was my point.
Oh,
that
okay.
Perhaps it's, they do bring in speakers, they've made recommendations on certain things over the years. The wording on the agendas are there because of, I think when I was on the city council the first time. Yeah, right, and they have been helpful in judging. I remember we had the weight of the doors here when this facility was built. But I was represented on that commission when my first term, so that's where I gained my familiarity. But I think we're putting too much responsibility on them with that ordinance, and maybe we could tweak it a little bit and change it as more of an informational group as opposed to making decisions and forwarding policy recommendations.
You also spoke of the role of lawyers on our commissions, that they were supposed to be responding when asked rather than like taking charge of the whole thing.
Right, that's a lot, right, that's a burden on them too.
Yeah.
They have a lot of legal work to do. This is a big city, there's a lot going on, and so that's just one more burden on the
It might be more
attorneys.
responsible to have someone else taking on the leadership capacity of it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Mr. Lafferty?
Thank you. And through the chair to Mr. Mazzarelli, you don't have to get up, but we approved just recently a one-year extension to the website contract. And Ms. Moore, you and I attended a meeting with one of their consultants for a couple of years ago now on all of the different changes that were required to the site. But what I wanted to tell Mr. Mazzarelli, we had specific language in that contract that if they're not meeting their obligations, that we can terminate with notice. What I'd like to suggest that the communications department, Mr. Mazzarelli, and maybe the city attorney's office review all of the current problems with the site and all of the obligations that the current web provider has already and is not performing, to understand, should we exit that contract and find a consultant, find a web provider that actually has the right experience that we need to bring that site up to speed. I'm not convinced that it's the current provider, and if it isn't, and it's the recommendation of the communications department, yourself, Mr. Mazzarelli, that we change that, then so be it, and we'll make that change. But certainly with the deadlines that Ms. Moore that you alluded to, the clock is ticking. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Okay, hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 12C, Council Secretary Mindy Moore, discussion and request to update the council rules of procedure, section 2.1, to add legal update to the council agenda. So moved with discussion.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion, Ms. Moore.
This is simply to add a space in the agenda if legal counsel has any update to give us, rather than add it, take it away. We'll just have it as a regular item, and if he has something to update the council on, we'll do it at that spot. And I think everybody was given a copy.
Any other discussion? Okay.
We just received a copy?
No, it was mailed in your backup,
Okay.
or given.
Seeing and hearing none, I will call the question. Ms. 12C. Ms. Moore, that was
Ye-
you,
yeah,
correct?
yes.
Ms. Moore.
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty.
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer.
Yes.
Mr. Boyke.
Yes.
Mr. Noonan.
Yes.
Ms. McGee.
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 12D, Councilmember Jonathan Lafferty, discussion in Ray Section 21-23, television, phonograph, musical instruments, etc. The playing of any television, phonograph, or similar device or any musical instrument in such a manner or with such volume, particularly during the hours between 10 p.m. and 8 a.m., or at any time or place, so as to annoy or disturb the quiet, comfort, or repose of persons in any office or in any dwelling, hotel, or other type of residence, or of any persons in the vicinity is unlawful. So moved.
Support Lafferty with discussion.
Discussion, Mr. Lafferty.
Thank you. I was contacted by a resident who very astutely described a problem in the neighborhood and actually cited the ordinance. He had done his homework, he had done his research, and said, Mr. Lafferty, and I reminded him that's my father, Mr. Lafferty, have you read this particular ordinance, and how can we fix the problem in the neighborhood? And I said I wasn't familiar with that particular section, and upon reading it, realized that we've got a couple of areas, and Council, I did provide you a couple of excerpts from the ordinance. It's very lengthy. It has numerous sections, and Ms. Moore referred to one in the particular item, section 2123, but there is sections on excessive noise, generally speaking, overall noise and commotion in vehicles, mobile sound amplification, and what I observed is that we have many different good parts of the ordinance, but it's all spread out in the different sections. And this particular ordinance is ripe for a renewal. And to the point that Mr. Cosione and his wife Ashley are here this evening, I would like to ask for a suspension of the rules.
Support.
Thank you, to allow Mr. Cosione to describe the issue in the neighborhood, to give some context to the changes that I'd like to propose.
All in favor of suspending the rules?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Mr. Cosione, could you please come up to the microphone?
Good evening, Council. Vince Caccione here speaking. Thank you, Jonathan. I'll call you that from now on. But
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. I just want to bring some talking points with some of the stuff I'm dealing with currently in my neighborhood with a noisy neighbor. Jonathan, you kind of nailed it on the ordinances and our discussions, right, of what's going on. But I have several videos of kind of what's going on, so if anybody wants to see what's happening, I can show you those. But yeah, I'm kind of frustrated to the point where I don't know what to do because of the ordinances are kind of all over the place, right? We have some ordinances that say during the day or at any time. We have mobile ordinances. We have a bunch of other stuff here. So kind of wanted to come to the council in support of kind of clarifying some of those ordinances and hopefully get some help, not only for myself, but other citizens of Warren, as I've kind of looked at some of the forums and some of the social media pages that other people are dealing with this as well. It's not just myself dealing with a neighbor, right? So it's kind of some of the stuff I'm dealing with here. You know, a lot of language in some of the music is inappropriate. I mean, I know it's First Amendment right, but you know, we have you know, kids and stuff like that that are around my neighborhood specifically, and there's a bus stop a little bit down the ways that kids get dropped off at. So it is during the day. I want to make that very clear that it's not at nighttime because those ones are very clear, but it's during the day, right? From the 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. You know, my neighbor's going for hours on end, and I've been told many times that from the police officers that there's nothing they can do. So I want to try and get something at least in other eyes, and again to your council. So for the most part, pretty close.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
I appreciate you representing this item on behalf of your neighbors. I did visit with Mr. Ciccone, and there was loud music in the neighborhood, and this is not intended to be punitive. My neighbor has the radio on in the backyard, and I don't like the type of music that they're playing. This was overtly loud, and it was, you know, at least in my opinion, not an audiologist, but it was just a disturbance. Mm-hmm. And especially, at least at the time that I was visiting with you, you mentioned to me that the bass. You know,
Yes.
boom, boom, boom,
yeah, the bass is terrible too. But, to that point is, it's very audible within 30 feet, right? Again, going back to some of those ordinances, there are ordinances that talk about if music is audible within 30 feet. I'm probably double that, if not more, and I can very clearly hear the words and the music there. So, we have other neighbors that abide by that, right? That have it at a reasonable rate, but again, the one neighbor, at least in my vicinity, is like that, so.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you for feeling that my voice has been heard at least. So I appreciate you, bringing us to the council here, and I feel good about, our conversations like that too, so.
Thank you. I will follow up with you.
Cool.
All right.
Thank you.
Motion to resume the rules? Or just, we can resume the rules?
We can resume, yep.
So, going back to what I pointed out, if you look at section 2124 under excessive noise, it's specific to 10 p.m. to 8 a.m., which disturbs the quiet and peace of persons located in the vicinity. Excessive noise, I think, can happen at any time of the day or night. 2131, noise or commotion in vehicles, covers unnecessarily loud noise or loud or profane music from a motor vehicle. So that could easily apply to me being in my garage and playing loud or profane music. So it seems that we took some elements and we didn't apply, or whoever wrote this over the years did not apply those same elements holistically across the ordinance. So what I'd like to ask is that we direct Mr. Schroeder to suggest amendments that encompass the overarching points of the overall ordinance, and also encompass recommendations from Warren Police that what can they enforce, what is enforceable, and give them the tools that they need to be effective. And this is certainly a tool in their toolbox that they can use. But the way it's written today, I don't know, Ms. Moore, if you have a phonograph at your home. I don't.
I actually do.
You do?
I think my daughter has one there.
Okay. But as far as it, phonograph being loud, I'm not certain that it's applicable in modern day technology. So certainly we have some word cleanup to do as well.
Madam Chair?
Ms. Moore.
So going back, Ms. Camp will remember this, in our first term, I had proposed a noise ordinance. And it was mostly at that time boom boxes coming from cars. It was especially like a neighborhood kid that was coming home at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning every night, boom, 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 boom. So it was not approved by the council at that time because the president at that time said I didn't include the noise from kids playing basketball. So it was defeated. In the next term, a new council member got on and called me and said, would you mind if I took the noise ordinance on as my own? I said, absolutely, we need to get it done. So I think probably a lot of that noise ordinance came from the 2007, 2011 timeframe. What's been done, I don't remember us doing anything certainly since 2019 regarding noise. I don't think we have that boom box, what I'll call from cars, noise that we had in the early 2000s. It's a little different, but, so I think that this probably has been done pretty piecemeal, is my guess.
It looked like
It needs to be redone.
It
I agree
evolved
with
in
you.
sections.
Yeah. Probably get rid of phonograph too. I'll let it go.
Ms. McGee.
I have a couple concerns regarding the times. I stay in association, and in certain association areas and location, they have their own cutoff time. Our cutoff time is 11 p.m. instead of 10 p.m. So if we're gonna go ahead and revise this, we may need to include everybody. That's one of my concerns, is that even on weekends, an association have a different time for weekend hours for loud music and parties. And I've noticed that I went to a 60th birthday party last year, and the Warren Police Department came out, and they had informed that it was a midnight hour that it had to be cut off. So I want to make sure that we put the right times in here, that the cutoff time for noise.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Madam President?
Mr. Noonan?
I wonder if it's possible to have a fine and an easily documented way of declaring that the conditions were met to trigger it. Like, if this is happening, you can call the police and the police can come, and if they witness that, then they can say, issue a permit, a fine, a ticket for X amount of money. Does that have to be something that can go to court? I don't know exactly how that would work, but if there's no teeth, if there aren't any teeth, then it's not something that they can enforce, right? That was my thought.
Madam Chair.
Mr. Lafferty?
So, Mr. Noonan, the excerpts that I provided
Yeah.
council, this is not the entire ordinance.
Right.
I only printed the relevant sections
Yeah.
for context of this argument. There is a penalty section of the ordinance, 21-36, which covers that in particular. So that does already exist. I just didn't print it.
Are you happy with the way that is?
I haven't read it in its entirety.
Okay.
It's not, I'm certainly certain that a discussion with Mr. Schroeder or Ms. Michaels
Yeah.
will help clarify.
Okay.
It says, a district court shall punish a person found responsible of a violation of Article 2 of this chapter with a fine of not less than $100, but not more than $1,000 per violation, and/or costs, assessment, and damages and expenses as provided. It's considered a municipal civil infraction to get a ticket.
Sounds good.
So keep your phonograph at a reasonable hour.
I'm gonna watch out now.
Any other discussion? Mr. Schroeder?
Just briefly, I understand what I think the assignment might be here. I just have dealt with noise ordinances for many, many years, and I do want the input of the police department because these things can be very difficult to enforce, and to have a total sympathy for the resident and the problem they have. I was brought in a few years ago in a community in another county, and there were two neighbors filing noise complaints. They were at $1 million houses. The one neighbor drank wine and cheese and liked classical music. The other neighbor liked more modern music with profane language. And between me and the police department and everybody else, we couldn't even solve the problem. It was just like, you guys need to move, okay? But, so I'm trying to say is that we can't solve every problem with a law. But there is a disturbing the peace too, which is 22-107. It's a misdemeanor. I did have a jury trial in front of Judge Shimura, one of my first jury trials, where it was a disturbing the peace. It was in an apartment building where the person just kept playing the music over and over. And I think by the 20th time the police department came out, they wrote a misdemeanor ticket. It went all the way to a jury. And the defendant brought in their boombox, and they plugged it in, and it was crackling. It couldn't make any noise, and they tried to say, you know, this thing couldn't possibly have made all that noise. You know, I think they drowned the thing in the bathtub the night before to short it out, so it wouldn't work. But anyway, they were found guilty because nobody really believed them. But there are cases where this can go to a misdemeanor criminal situation when it's over and over and over. But then again, I mean, are we going to arrest people for this? Are we going to call them criminals? It really takes a lot for that. So there are other options here. So I think also I'd like to be able to work with Ms. Michaels, because her office is the one that would have to prosecute these cases, I think, as well. So we'll bring her into that. But I agree with everything else that was said. But it's hard to solve for all of these scenarios. There's also some ordinances have like a decibel reader situation where if you're above a certain decibel amount in a certain distance, then you're in violation. But then that makes the police department have to buy decibel readers, and then they have to calibrate them. Then, you know, that gets to be difficult too. But we can also bring back some options for council to look at and try to choose from a menu of options as well.
Excellent.
Thank you, Mr. Schroeder. Any other discussion? Okay, hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 12E, reappointment of David Safaya to the Zoning Board of Appeals for a term to expire September 30th, 2028. So moved with discussion.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion, Ms. Moore.
Thank you. Mr. Safaya is here for a reappointment. He has done just a wonderful job on ZBA, and I wholeheartedly am advocating for his reappointment.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 12F, which is a proposed resolution to establish administrative fee to process vacant tax reverted lot sales. So moved.
Support Lafferty.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Discussion?
Yeah. This item came up when we were talking about selling properties for $1, that there should be some sort of administrative fee. This won't come anywhere near covering what the legal department and some of the other departments have invested in the way of time in these, but this would at least be something to sort of offset it. And I think that when you put a fee on it like this, it becomes a more important transaction to someone making that rather than just the $1. So, and I think Ms. Michaels and Mr. Schroeder worked together on coming up with this number. I suggested a much higher number, but I'm fine with this one.
Any other discussion?
That's good work.
Okay, hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 12G, which is discussion regarding Senior Housing Commission member Curtis Ostosh. Motion to approve.
Support Lafferty.
Madam Chair.
Discussion, yep.
Thank you, yes. Curtis Ostosh is a current member of the Senior Housing Commission. As of August 26th, today, 2025, Curtis Ostosh owes $1,440 in fines and fees to the city due to property maintenance violations. There are 4 separate 37th District Court cases, and the resolution I would propose is, whereas Section 4.3A of the Warren City Charter provides that a person is ineligible for city office who is in default to the city, and whereas Section 4.10 of the Warren City Charter further provides that a city office shall become vacant upon default to the city unless such default is eliminated within 30 days after written notice thereof by the clerk upon direction of the council, and whereas the city council has been informed that Curtis Ostosh, currently serving as Senior Housing Commissioner, is in default to the city. Now therefore be it resolved that the Warren City Council hereby directs the city clerk to issue written notice to Curtis Ostosh pursuant to Section 4.10 of the Warren City Charter, informing him of the default to the city and the requirement to cure such default within 30 days of the date of notice in order to avoid automatic vacancy of office. And be it further resolved that the City Council shall take any and all further action required to ensure compliance with the Warren City Charter.
Any discussion?
Mr. Schroeder, is there anything you need to add?
You correctly stated the requirements of the charter. This is an opportunity also to pay the fees, and then that puts this matter to rest if it's paid within 30 days.
Thank you.
Okay, hearing and seeing no additional.
Has he already been served?
I'm sorry?
Has he already been informed, or he's gonna be informed?
The clerk makes that, according to the charter, she informs the commissioner of the default.
Okay, we'll call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 13A, which was tabled 8/12/2025, request of the fire department to increase the award for incident reporting software to ESO Solutions, Inc., increasing the 2025-2026 period to $66,314.84, increasing the 2026-2027 period to $71,314.84, and the 2027 to 2028 period to $76,314.84. This increase is necessary due to increased volumes and number of users, consideration and adoption of a resolution. Motion to remove from the table.
Support Lafferty.
Support Lafferty. I will call the question to remove the item from the table. Ms. Moore?
Motion to
Yes.
approve with discussion?
We got to vote first.
We have to vote on the tabling motion first.
Thank you.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Item is removed from the table. There's a motion from Mr. Boyke.
Support with
Motion to
discussion
approve
as
with
well.
discussion.
Okay, Mr. Boyke, discussion first, then Ms. Moore.
If we could have the fire commissioner approach, please.
Good evening, council.
Good evening.
I would like to thank you for providing the appropriate paperwork. I understand there was some issue with what was given to you from the purchasing department, which led to confusion. Would you like, and I'm good with it, would you like to say anything?
No, just, I apologize for the mistakes on my behalf, on the mistakes I made in writing the letter and not being clear enough and giving a history that supported the actual document in place. Some of these things occurred prior to this council, and therefore there was no way for councils to have the history related to prior years' consolidations that would make it make sense.
No need to apologize. We'll get through this, we work together. Thank you.
Madam Chair?
Ms. Moore.
Thank you. Commissioner McAdams, we had a discussion last time, a little, not exactly on point, but about the incident reporting and, you know, where the incidents were reported to. And so I was interested, I actually pulled up the last annual report that the police department or the fire department provided. I don't know if there's any going forward, but this was from 2014.
I think so, yeah.
And I mean, it's got some really good information, and one of the things is that we all see the squads going down the road, we see the fire trucks going down the road, we see, you know, people taken away and taken to the hospital on fires. But there's a lot of things that go on in the department that residents don't know about, we don't know about, things that are being accomplished and not done. And I don't know if you prepare a report on a yearly basis that, you know, that doesn't contain HIPAA information that nobody should see. But like this one had incident response overview, major fire incidents and flood damage, financial performance and grants, personnel changes, emergency medical services performance, mutual aid and community support, future goals and innovations, EMS training and equipment goals, financial overview of EMS transport receipts, patient care report totals by squad. And I would note that we had squad 1, 2, and 3 back then. So we should be very proud of ourselves that we have increased that service and what we have available to use. And our numbers have certainly gone up. But fire prevention, fire statistics, hazardous materials, special response team, things like that. Of course, we didn't have drones back then, and a lot of the other things, but I didn't know if you do a report, because I think it would be so beneficial for us to see this, because this has some really, certainly in 2014, it has some interesting, and it's fun for me from a historical perspective to look back and compare it to where we are today. But I think the residents would love to see where their money is going and where their trust is being placed, because they do put a lot of trust in you. So that's certainly something I would like to see going forward.
I think you will be happy, and that there will be an annual report and placed on the website.
You know what, that would be great.
Yeah.
That would be great. I think everybody would like to see that, and, you know, you do a lot of hard work.
Yes, and probably for the.
And we should be recognizing and understanding just how much really goes into, it's not just somebody sitting behind the wheel and driving somewhere and throwing somebody on a hydraulic cot now that we didn't have back then either. So anyway, I would really appreciate that. Thank you, Commissioner, very much.
Probably at least the last 2 years, we'll start again.
That would be great. Thank you so.
Replacing those and going forward.
Thank you so much.
Any other discussion? Okay, hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Sorry, wrong way. Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is a yes. Motion carries. Next
Thank you,
item.
Council.
Next item is 13B, request of the Downtown Development Authority for a budget amendment to fund the police department entrance repairs in the total amount of $1,210,704,000. Consideration and adoption of a resolution. So moved with discussion.
Support Dwyer.
Madam Chair.
Discussion, Ms. Moore.
Thank you. As I understand it, we originally budgeted for this item, maybe not the exact amount, but this item was budgeted in a prior year. Instead of doing a reappropriation from that prior year and bringing those funds forward, we're just adding it as a new appropriation for this budget year. Those funds that had been appropriated in a prior year just went back into the general fund. Did I state that correctly, Mr. Fox? Thank you.
Madam Chair,
Mr. Boyke?
through the chair, I'd like to speak to the city engineer. Tina? Good evening. It'll be easy. The cement work here, when you say the entrance, is that the street side or is that between the courts?
No, it's around the police building, the plaza around the police building.
Okay. At one of the DDA meetings, there was an appropriation for cement work for the ramp.
Yeah, that was,
ADA ramp. Is this included in this?
no, that's a
So
different
it's
project.
totally
That's
separate?
in the road, correct.
Okay, thank you. That's all I need.
All right, you're welcome.
Any other discussion?
Good questions.
Any more discussion? Okay. Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 13B, request of the fire department to transfer funds between line items in the amount of $30,000 to cover the costs associated with the capital equipment purchases of office furniture for the administration building and tables and chairs for the training room. Consideration and adoption of a resolution. So moved with discussion.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion, Ms. Moore.
Commissioner, well, first off, Mr. Fox, is this year's budget that we're transferring or last year's budget?
This year's.
Richard Fox, City Controller, it's this year's budget.
So I didn't go back and look at what was the total amount that we approved for Fire Prevention Week. I see we're taking 30,000 and transferring it, but how much was the total? Do you remember? I could look it up.
What happened is that the 30,000 was incorrectly placed into that budget for capital purchases, for furniture, for that division, and it flowed all the way through the budget adoption process. and should have been in capital where it should have been. So it was a mistake on the division's part that money got placed there, then it wasn't caught and it got adopted in that place.
Gotcha.
So to move it to capital, we had to come to you to move those monies to capital.
So you didn't overinflate your fire prevention week expenses?
Right, no.
That's $30,000, a lot of money for fire
Yes.
prevention materials.
Yes.
We missed it.
Hmm?
We missed it.
I know, how did we miss that?
How did I miss? I'm
That's a big budget, and there's a lot of moving parts.
38 million.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Thank you, council.
13E, request of the sanitation department for an additional appropriation of funds in the amount of $62,315 to cover the purchase of 2 flight submersible grinder pumps for the Warren Transfer Station. Consideration and adoption of a resolution. So moved.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion, anyone? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is a yes. Next item.
Next item is 13F, request of the Sanitation Division to waive the bid process and award the purchase of 2 new flight submersible grinder pumps to Lawrence M. Clark, Inc. in the total amount of $62,314.88. Consideration and adoption of a resolution. So moved.
Support Dwyer.
Thank you. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 13G, request of the city treasurer for a transfer of funds between line items in the amount of $2,052 to cover the costs associated with reorganizing budgeted positions. Consideration and adoption of a resolution. So moved with discussion.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion, Ms. Moore.
Treasurer Barnwell, I don't think it's responsible, but did you want to add anything? It's $2,000, so.
Thank you, council. Again, I appreciate it. I brought to you basically the plan for the future of the treasurer's office at our last budget hearings. And we've had some challenges getting it through human resources. Not Jared, he's been wonderful, but some of the other staff, there's definitely been some roadblocks. So I had to kind of refinagle some of the budgeted positions to kind of do a plan B, if you will. So this is kind of part 1 of plan B. We've been working on this really since the end of 2023. We had a retirement of a very significant employee of mine in my office, Doug, who some of you know. He was there for almost 30 years and was really a fixture in my office. And then, as you know, this is my last term. Tina, who's my deputy treasurer, has been with the city almost 30 years herself. So between me, Tina, and Doug, that's decades and decades of experience leaving the treasurer's office. So I need to ensure that we still function at the high level that we're doing now. And I think we have a great plan. This is a plan that has been before council, that Mr. Fox has looked at, that unions have looked at, Jared has looked at as well, our new HR director. And unfortunately, there's still been roadblocks, and it's been a challenging time for my department, just so everyone is aware. So we're hoping to, if the council would be so kind to approve this tonight, then we can continue to try to put these things before civil service to ensure that the treasurer's office, again, has the proper staff, we're building leaders up, we're giving people a path to come up through the department. We have a leadership succession plan in place. This is imperative with all of the financial things that happen at the treasurer's office, so.
Thank you. We have great confidence in your abilities and your leadership in that department. You know it, you know your people. We were convinced that you were presenting the correct plan when we went through the budget process. We're a little disappointed that you are running into some roadblocks because it seemed like a pretty sound plan to me. And you are actually planning for the future, which is more than we get from a lot of people that are on their way out. And you're to be commended for that. That is a fine quality, that you care about what's going to happen after you leave. And you're leaving a fine legacy. And I hope that those impediments are moved out of your way going forward.
Thank you, Council. I'll definitely keep everyone updated. Thank you for your support. It's really appreciated. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 13H, request of the administration to amend the Downtown Development Authority fiscal year 2026 capital outlay budget in the amount of $100,000 to fund the Gather and Grounds project in the City Hall atrium. Consideration and adoption of a resolution.
Motion to deny with discussion.
Support.
Support Dwyer.
Support. More discussion. Mr. Lafferty?
The question has finally been answered. We finally know what Mayor Stone has been busy with instead of attending to the important issues facing our city. It was not more than 3 months ago when the council unanimously rejected the mayor's initial proposal and wisely defunded when we adopted the 25-26 budget. Council already determined that this was not a priority. And I know that there was some social media activity this weekend on the topic. I have not spoken to one single taxpayer that wants me to vote in favor of giving $100,000 of their tax dollars to a private company, not to mention through a no-bid contract. Ladies and gentlemen, building a sandwich and coffee shop is the mayor's top priority. The last administration attempted that underhanded move with the downtown hotel developer, and the previous council was wise enough to stop that government handout with a clear understanding that you could not convey public dollars without a public purpose. At a time when we're nearly 30 police officers down, we have significant infrastructure concerns with our roads, aging play structures, and deteriorating restrooms in our parks, and a total lack of a strategic plan or vision for the city. It is now obvious that Mayor Stone is less concerned about what is truly important with the issues facing our city and more concerned about what people will eat and drink when they work or visit City Hall. This proposal can only be characterized in one of two ways: either a total lack of respect for the decision already previously made by City Council, or incompetence. I remain in complete opposition to this proposal and will be voting no accordingly.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
One of my concerns with the coffee shop, and I did look at the responses, President, and some people did agree with it, with the exception of the $100,000, of course. I am about building small businesses, and I believe that it should be total opposite way. I think that we should be asking, if we decide to do something like that, we should bring in a small business that will pay us, that will pay us to be in that area and be at our City Hall. So I would like for us to do more research and asking them if they would like to have a business, not this particular company, but other companies that may be out there who's looking to start a small business and willing to pay us rent in order for them to be there.
Madam
Ms.
Chair?
Moore.
If you look at the backup, Mr. Bomarito did indicate that he had reached out to many businesses pushing this idea or asking if they were interested, and everyone said, well, they weren't interested because it's not feasible. We don't have the numbers to make any sort of business. And I will say that some of the infrastructure is there. I think there's water to the atrium and some other things. And initially, when we built City Hall back in the early 2000s, there was a thought of at some point there might be something like this, but that was also at the time when we had built I'll call it a snack bar, for lack of a better term, at the skate park, splash pad. And also Dave's Deli was in this building. This building was much, much busier when we moved it in back in the early 2000s. And they all went belly up because there's just not the numbers. This company is not a Warren business. It's a Centerline business. I believe in trying to promote Warren businesses over other city businesses when we can, but we are obligated to bid out any work that we do, any endeavor, we have to bid it out. So this is something would have to be bid out. We are not allowed to give something to nonprofits. We can't give money. I think you'll remember when we discussed the challenges we faced in the winter with the homeless population, that we found out, well, we can't fund a nonprofit. The city's just not allowed to do that. And there are a lot of questions, and I do have to say, I've really been trying very hard to work with Mr. Bomarito. We have a lot of things I think that we can work together and accomplish, certainly with the land bank of some development, because we have a common goal. We want to bring more people to Warren. We want to improve our housing stock. But, you know, this is the second time something has been brought back to council that we didn't approve the first time. And I would rather spend time on new developments, new initiatives, than to recycle something that council has already expressed concern or not, you know, in favor of. So, I mean, the Rising Stars, you know, I have friends that their daughter was very involved, and I think still to this day, and it's a wonderful organization, institution, but, you know, we can't be in the business of nonprofits. That's just not our mandate. And certainly the downtown,